Everyone. It seems I'm once again one day late for recording my YouTube video. Just wait for me to get comfortable. So, I don't remember which week this is anymore. I think it is the 4th weekly remarks. 3 weeks have already passed since my first video, I think. So, there was week 0, which I did not name. Then there was week 1. Then there was week 2. And now it's week 3's end. And I'll be honest, next week's focus is also going to be on studies because I really need to step up my game. So, what I'll start this video with is what all has happened over the course of the past week. Just every single day I have tests. To be exact, I have tests in various subjects every single day. If you want, I'll read out the fucking exam schedule to you. Today is 17th. The test started on 13th. It has been absolutely fucking gruesome since then. 13th, indefinite integrals. 14th, definite integrals. 16th, chemical kinetics. 17th, moving charges and magnetism. 18th, applications of integration. 19th, differential equations. 20th, vector algebra. 21st, physics. First 4 chapters, full test. 22nd, chemistry. First 5 chapters, full test. 23rd, 3D geometry. 24th, magnetism and matter. 25th, metallurgy. 26th, 26th, linear programming and probability. 27th, school. 28th, maths, all chapters, first and second textbook, combined test. So far I felt absolutely fucking horrible. All the tests, quite bad marks. So, it's hard. I'm getting scolded on a daily basis by my aunt's teacher. He's an awesome guy. I kind of disappoint him. My brother was better than me. So I always have someone he compares me to. But he does not, torture me on that. He's a nice person, but it's just that I have not been able to produce enough results. Because it is a bit hard, especially when you're still, struggling with focusing for more than 1.5 hours straight. It's quite difficult. See, I was very productive until 2 days ago. Day before yesterday and yesterday I was quite unproductive. Not quite, I was plain just unproductive. I was not able to do much work. I ran out of steam. Otherwise, this week has been quite good actually. Far better than the last week. Last weekly focus was also studies. And this week's weekly focus has been more successful. And so has today. I woke up in the morning today at 3:30 to start studying. And it was quite a success. But I am fucking tired though. It really takes a toll on you. Sleep is important. Damn. Because of this very stringent timetable, I have not been able to exercise as much as I would have liked to. Tomorrow I will exercise because tomorrow it is applications of integration, which is quite easy. And there are quite a lot of distractions this week. I will touch on that later in the end part of the video, in the vrishtam part of the video. For the Malayalis out there, I wonder if you know the meaning of vrishtam. If Shivani is watching this, please don't ask your mother what a vrishtam is. There is a chance that she may be watching this. She's one of my besties. And so is Vaishnav. Vaishnav knows the meaning of vrishtam perfectly well because he is one. Now, what I want you to take away from what I have taken away from the last week of studies is how to properly use textbooks while studying. I always used to have this mindset that textbooks are not needed, and I'll just study my DP physics sir's notes. His name is Dilip. We use his initials D and P, so we call him DP. So it was not just me. It was me, Vaishnav, Joseph, Sai. All four of us just used DP sir's notes to just more or less get a hang of what we are studying, and then we would try to vomit out whatever we knew onto the paper. Well, it was not a very productive way of studying because one, we never focused on getting into the habit of consistently revising what was taught today in the night. We never got into that habit, and that is backfiring on me so damn hard right now, especially with all the tests coming. Mahesh was right in saying that if you put in the effort to not if you put in the effort to understand and properly incorporate the knowledge that you have been taught that day, and in a few days after that, you have to you have to learn you have to revise what you learned today, and then you have to you have to relearn it in a few days. If you do that, then it will spare you a lot of effort in the middle of the exams, and you wouldn't have to you know vomit bullshit onto the question paper. You just have to revise whatever was the small amount of theory that you may or may not have forgotten, and then you could just do the questions. And doing questions is not as difficult when you already know the theory quite well. Next week I am quite hopeful. This week has gone quite well, so next week should go quite well as well. God damn, that was a lot of wells. And I wish I had properly implemented this thing about studying what was taught today in school immediately. I wish I had started doing that last year, because now it will take me a lot of effort to get into that habit. Next week is going to be quite a bit focused on that. Let me write that down. Next week's focus, one of them. I just realized that this could be one of the foci for this in oncoming week. Foci. I've been journaling consistently. For those of you who know me, you know this journal quite well. I keep it, I hide it. I don't let anybody touch this because it has some dangerous items contained inside. Now, over the course of the past week, I have been getting quite bored as well sometimes. What I've gotten into the habit of doing recently is around noon time, 11:30, I get very fed up with whatever I'm studying, and then I just take my scooter and go outside and go to the beach. Sometimes I just drive around for like half an hour. I don't know when, but I will eventually come to that day when I've just this small amount of charge left, and I still go to the beach and have to push the scooter all the way back. I know that will come one day. It is coming, believe me. But as I was going to the beach, a bunch of things happened to me. Especially, a bunch of things happened to me. Day before yesterday was something a bit impactful, I feel. I really don't want to get into that topic right now. But fuck it, let's do it. It's only 7:15 today. I can afford to... No, fuck, I can't afford to just go on speaking like this. I have a test tomorrow. And I also have to get my chemistry projects procedure done right now after this. I have a lot of work to do. And I also have to revise I also have to revise today's physics. No, I have to start getting into that habit today itself. So, what happened was, day before yesterday, I went out to buy payasam. If you don't know what payasam is, go die, leave this channel. You have to be a Malayali to understand that. I'm just kidding, please don't go. I already have very few views as it is. Very few as in just mine, Vaishnav, maybe Shivani's, just maybe. What happened was I went to a supermarket that I usually go to and I got the paisam. It was 85 rupees. I had 100 rupees with me. I was planning on buying a toothbrush as well. I went to buy a toothbrush and there was a poor person standing near the toothbrush stand with a attendant asking her what the price of this was, and when she quoted the price, he looked crestfallen. All the way to the beach, I was regretting what I had done. I wish I had, just stopped fucking drinking payasam and just helped that poor guy. I don't know how to express this feeling. That day got, a bit dark because of that. I wasn't able to enjoy that day as much, but we are humans, regardless. And on the way to the beach, I got to the beach, I stood there drinking a fucking Nescafe hazelnut, 45 rupees wastage of money, sugar drink. I stood there drinking it, and as I was walking back, I saw a girl. I wish I had talked to her. That is one of the regrets as well. Two big regrets in one day. Now, if you're watching this, you would be thinking, why the fuck are you such a creep, man? Why do you regret not talking to a girl? You shouldn't be such a fucking stranger. Just going up talking to her, bearded guy with a small mustache, wearing fucking white shorts and white shirt. Oh, and on the way back, I also stopped by near the hill of my school, and I talked to a bunch of my classmates and schoolmates there. It was fun. That was quite a lot of fun. But I hate regretting shit. Okay, so what I'm going to be focusing on from now onwards is, it's not going to be my primary focus. My primary focus is still going to be to study as productively as I possibly can. What I'm going to try doing now is slowly but steadily increasing how long my sessions last. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm doing the Pomodoro technique with, J Skulls, all that, 15 minutes of studying and then doing 10 and having a small break of 10 minutes just watching his stream, just doing fucking jaw exercises and shit. That's what I usually do. But I have been reading Deep Work by Cal Newport, and in it he says that if you want to really digest and internalize what you have been studying, you have to do it in big chunks of time, 1.5 to 2 hours of time. That is what he recommends, and it is coming from somebody who is far, far above me right now. And I have to take his advice, because if I don't, that would just mean that I would end up being ignorant. An ignorant pig is all I would be. So, my goal eventually, not for this week, because my goal eventually is to be able to go 2 hours straight without a single break. Well, that is going to be very hard, because I usually tend to finish one entire mug of water within 1 hour, and then I have to piss badly. I have to piss really badly. It is difficult. But I am going to have to try to do that. If I have to, I'll have to build fucking bladder capacity from now onwards. That's going to be a muscle that I'm going to be working on from now onwards. I don't want there to be any fucking problems just because of that. But That is one of the things that I need to focus on. I have to slowly but steadily increase how much time I spend studying, and I have to increase the depth at which I study. Oh God, I have to increase the depth of it. Oh, voice is cracking. I have to increase the depth at which I study. Now, there is one additional focus that I really want to, hold on to for the rest of my life, and this is very important. It is posture. Back in the school days, oh my God, I feel like an old man. When I used to go to school, last year especially, Vaishnav and I always used to sit together, and what we would do is we would say, Mew straight back check. If you don't know what mewing is, go check it out. It is a way to increase your facial attractiveness. Proven study. It might look a bit ridiculous when you first have a glance at it, but it is very, it has shown good results. Okay, I have a better jawline, I have a better looking face overall than I used to in ninth and 10th. Honestly, I just have less hair now, so my face doesn't look as full as it used to. Now it looks a bit more bony, but I like myself with more hair. Okay, so what we would do is mew straight mew straight back check. So you have to be mewing, which essentially is just keeping your entire tongue on the top of the roof of your mouth, that is on the palate. You have a sort of arch on the top of your mouth, right? You have to stick your entire tongue up against it and press it there, keep it there, like so. Mew straight back check. So what we would do is we'd slap each other's backs in the middle of the class, and what we would be essentially saying is, stop being fucking out of your mind. Don't zone out. Sit straight. Fucking goddamn. I have to sit straight as well now. Sit straight. Start mewing again. And it's a check for that. You have to check. We're just checking each other out. Checking each other out. What the hell? It sounds like we are. Doesn't checking each other out mean, as in a romantic, doesn't that mean something, date like thing? I don't know, man. I find it weird. Huh. So, because of this, my posture was actually quite good when I used to go to school. And I am very sad to say that my posture has severely deteriorated over the course of these 2 months. Severely. I've stopped talking straight altogether. I've completely lost awareness of this particular aspect of my self improvement, which to me is very important. I don't want to end up being that guy who has to endure back pain when he's 50, 60 years old. Just doing studies this way, arching my back and doing studies continuously for 15 minutes straight, that is that has an effect at the base of my neck. That hurts. I can't even imagine what it would be like once you have a permanent back like that, and then the only way you can walk is like this. My grandfather has that. It does not look pretty to have. It does not look fun to have. So I'm not ending up like that. What I'm going to be doing now is, school will start in 10 days. So in these 10 days, I'm going to try and improve my posture as much as possible. Kick this system into overdrive a bit. I'm going to try and be aware of this at all times possible. My goals for 2023. It's on that wall. That wall. But my hand was outside the camera right now. It's on that wall. I'll read them out to you. 90% in all math and tests. Full in all school tests. That is the first goal. 90% in all math and tests means, we just call it, we tend to call our tuition Mathans, because that is Mahesh's old nickname from his childhood. So we just call it Mathans. 90% in all Mathan tests. That is the test that I'm horribly failing right now. Full in school tests. Now this is different. School, I will try my very fucking hardest to get as many marks as possible. Second is to live with military style discipline. Now, as I've said earlier before, I really want to get into NDA. That is difficult to handle with JE on my back as well. But what I can do is I can live with a military mindset, because then it would be easier to integrate into an NDA sort of environment, and it would carry over well to IIT, because the reviews I've seen of these places, just nerds. A lot of them are just nerds. Because I would understand if you were a fucking nerd who doesn't give a shit about your health if you want to get JE, because it is quite difficult. And all of the men that I see, getting JEE, they don't look like men. They look like fucking boys. And the girls look like they have mental health issues. Fucking hair all up, it does not look good. Thin hair. I've seen multiple guys at the top balding, and none of them have a good physique. None of them. Not a single one of them. Akash Pala, nowhere is the top, IIT or JEE rank holder, anybody, anywhere near fit. I don't know if that's the case with North India, but at least in Kerala, nobody's fit, okay? Nobody seems to be healthy. I don't even remember how I got into this shit. But, yes, living with military style discipline. Discipline. I have to get to that. I'm trying my best to do that, and this is also one part of that. Number 3 is to obtain an athletic physique. This is going to be very, very difficult. As I've said earlier, I have a killer timetable right now, and what I've been able to gather is that I won't be able to exercise consistently at all. In the next 10 days, I'm going to be exercising only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 5 times in 10 days. What that essentially means is, in 1 week, I'm going to be exercising roughly 2 days. Roughly. That is very bad. I can't afford that. I'm probably going to have to increase the number of days I exercise. At least 45 minutes every 2 days. If I want to even maintain the body that I have to do 45 minutes every 2 days. Or else I'll go back into the same fucking laddu that I was once upon a time. And I don't think I want to get back there. Athletic physique, I have to really watch my food. I can't be having unnecessary sugars all the time. God fucking damn, I can't wait for school to start. Nowadays I have to wake up. I stay up late till like 11 or 12 in the morning. In the evening, and then I wake up at fucking 3:30 to try and study this shit. I really should have studied this stuff when it was taken. It is backfiring on me so badly right now. Now, we may have a new subscriber. The girl I mentioned before, Shivani, she may be watching this. If you're there, go watch my second video. Please go watch my second. I don't remember which video it was, but I think second or third video. You have to watch that after this video, okay? I don't give a shit if you don't watch my first video, but second or third video, go watch it. You'll understand what I mean once you get there. But we may have a new subscriber. I'm happy for that. Welcome to my channel, Shivani. Now, this is the latter portion of this video, and it's about a part of self-improvement that I have been neglecting for quite a while now. It is taking responsibility. It is one of the virtues of the great people that are alive. It is one of the virtues that the greatest people alive all share in common. They take extreme responsibility on the thing that they are famous for. For example, I I wonder if you know Napoleon, but do you know that Napoleon did every single fucking fight, every single battle that he had from the front fucking lines? And from the front lines. And what I mean by this is, he was always in danger of getting hit by a stray cannon, and he was always splattered with blood and mud all over his fancy commander's outfit, and that won a hell of a lot of respect from his men. But he was responsible for his battles. He always was in the forefront of it and trying to assess the situation live and coming up with new strategies on the spot to outmaneuver his enemies. That is the first example. Let me think of a second example. Bill Gates, he is responsible for all the money that he has. He is very, very careful with it. So is Warren Buffett. So is all the rich people that you see who have won their money out of, hard work and not just, winning a fucking lottery. These people, the reason these people are successful is because they took responsibility of what they are famous or rich for now, successful for now. Okay. Going back to that example of Napoleon, the reason Napoleon lost the Battle of Waterloo was actually because he had fucking diarrhea. Not diarrhea, I assume it was diarrhea, but it is said that his stomach was upset in the morning of the battle, so he sat out the battle, and his army lost, and he was captured. If only he had not had been sick that day, maybe history would have been different right now. Maybe. I don't know. We would have seen him in a different light today. How different it would have been. So, taking responsibility. Every time we make an excuse, we make ourselves less responsible. For example, I'll just take my example. I tend to, make a lot of excuses for me having bad marks. That is understandable because I am going through quite a fucking hectic part of my life. I shouldn't be, making excuses. Taking responsibility is like a skill. It takes deliberate effort and practice to get good at the skill, and the more responsibility you take, the more accountability and you have, and hence, definitely the more you will accomplish, the more responsibility that you have. So success is directly proportional to fucking responsibility, and whenever you are blaming something else or giving off the responsibility to somebody else and something that has happened to you. For example, if you're walking in the street with your phone in one hand and somebody accidentally touches you, he hits you, no, he bumps you and your phone goes flying out of your hand and gets broken. If an irresponsible man or person, what he would do is he would fucking scream at that guy. He would demand that he pay him or her back that money that they have potentially just lost. What a responsible person would do is they would first apologize and ask them if they are okay, and then see if their phone is okay. And then if it is not, and then if it is broken, then they would make a mental note of never to walk with phone in hand ever again. That is what they would do. A responsible person would do. They would not blame it on somebody else. What matters is how you respond to certain situations. That is what this is about. Whenever something happens to you, you have to take the initiative to be the one responsible for it, because when you take the responsibility for it, you're leveling up your skill. Every time you give off that responsibility to something or someone else, you're devaluing yourself. You're giving up the opportunity to become better every single time you do that. So next time you have, um, next time you get bad marks, don't blame it on the fucking fact that you had only one day in the middle of the exams to study. It's on you. You should have been the one who studied it the night that it was taught, and a few days after it was taught again. Because if you had done that, you would have only been doing problems in that one day before that exam. You would only have been doing that. And that is what leads to success. Now, goddamn, 30 minutes already. Let me give you an example of this from my personal life. Tomorrow in the evening, my mother's cousin, Pramod, is coming here. His kid, Gautam, who is in 5th standard as well, he's also coming, and so is his wife. Initially, I was quite upset at my mother, telling her that, it was her fault, and it was the fact that she willingly let them come over in the middle of such a hectic time for me. It was her fault and these people's fault that I would not be able to get good marks in the exam. Imagine the amount of responsibility that I was just dropping on their shoulders, the amount of weight, the amount of guilt that I was putting on them. That is what, and we do this unconsciously. That is the worst part. We don't even realize when we are, trying to protect ourselves, that we are always shifting the blame onto something else when we are protecting ourselves. When we are fighting off some person with a fucking shield, we use the shield to deflect. We are letting something else take the blame, take the pain, take the dent, take the strain. I'm fucking rhyming words, man. I'm good at this. I'm letting somebody else do that. What doesn't kill you makes you nothing but stronger and harder and faster. If I had properly taken the responsibility 2-3 days ago and said to my mother, Amma as in mother, I wish them good. I hope they will come. I will serve them well, and I will study as well. I should not be thinking, oh my god, they are coming, now what do I do? That is the worst mindset that you can possibly apply, because then you would put yourself in a bad state in front of them, because you would always be thinking, yeah, I should be studying right now. That is never how you have a conversation with someone. When you have a conversation with someone, you be fucking present. You have to be as with them as you possibly can be, because that is the only way you're going to make friends. That is one thing I have never struggled with. I don't zone out in the middle of conversations. I have I have known many people who do that, and I let me tell you, it is fucking annoying. They these people who zone out in the middle of conversations, it just tells you how little they fucking care about what you're saying. And hanging out with such people is not good either, because the more you give off value to somebody who doesn't accept it, the more you're devaluing yourself. I fucking hate to admit that I heard this quote from Jordan Peterson through my shorts period. I hate to admit that, but it is the truth. It is the truth. The more you speak to people who don't give a shit about what you say, the less you're valuing yourself. You should just cut them off if they're completely hopeless. But do take an honest effort to engage them. Otherwise, you wouldn't be taking responsibility. Don't waste your skill. Don't waste these opportunities to get skills, to level up your skill of responsibility. I, if I properly sit down and think about it, I could probably find a dozen of these at least within this last 2 or 3 weeks. I could probably do that. Time is flying by at a very fast rate. I would have blamed that on the fact that I have very hectic classes. But what I should be doing right now is I should be thinking, yeah, I have classes, but I'm not enjoying every single moment of them. That is why it is because I choose not to, uh, give me a second. Yeah, sorry for that. A phone call had just come. I rejected it. I'll tell my grandfather later that there was a phone call. But I've already forgotten what I was saying. That is what I mean. I'm not present enough. I don't feel the flow of time because I am not present. And what can I do about that? I can meditate more. No, I can't meditate more, but when I do meditate, I have to meditate with as much intention as possible. I should think, am I aware right now, as much as possible. That is also going to be an additional foci in the incoming weeks to become more present and enjoy more of life. Because breathing is enjoyable if you do it consciously, and you know that you don't have to do anything else at that time. If you properly convince yourself that, yeah, this is the time for me and only me, when I don't have to think about anything else, I can set aside my daily obligations and just sit and breathe and be what and feel what animals and nature is feeling at all times. This vast presentness, this permanence, this there must be a better word for this flow. That is a good word for it. This flow, to experience this flow at all times. For that, I have to take responsibility and try to find order in chaos. I have to do that. There's no other way. Taking responsibility is difficult, but it is a skill that we can all level up. This next week, I am going to be trying my best to focus on the following things. First and foremost thing is studies. I'm going to be slowly increasing how much time I study at once, just a bit at a time. Maybe 10 minutes longer sessions for a week, and then 20 minutes longer, 30 minutes longer. I'll just keep on progressively overloading like I do with weights. Yeah, it is fun when you think of it as a game. Slowly but steadily, I will improve. That is the first thing. The second thing is I have to take extreme care of my posture. I'm probably going to have to put up a bunch of slips around the room and around the house. But it will look fucking weird when, Pramod Maman and his family see it, especially the kid. The kid will be like, why are you doing this? And I have to explain to him, you know, you have to take responsibility for your own goals. If you don't take care of your posture, you will end up like a broken old man. And he'll like, what the fuck are you saying, man? Grown ass kids my age don't give a shit about this. What will a 10-year-old think? Unless he was raised by somebody who inculcated this in him or her since they were born, there would be no way that they would care about this. But it would be fun to see their reaction. But then again, I might lose that image of the carefree cousin who's the most chill and the most cool of them all. This has been a good talk. I like it. I have liked it. So the next things that I'm going to be focusing on is revising daily. That is one thing. Taking responsibility. Daily topic revisions, posture, and last but not least, studies. God damn, my ass hurts. Well then, now the video will end. Adios.